The Cowboys apparently trying some quote-unquote out-of-the-box ideas, maybe, when it comes to them and their offensive line, because Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News, in his latest piece here, quote, why the Cowboys' problem sorting out starter at left guard is, quote-unquote, great for Dallas.
Huh. Okay, I'm listening.
The Cowboys are sorting through who their primary left guard will be in 2023. A noticeably leaner Terence Steele, who apparently is down from the 320s to about 312 now these days. So a svelte Terence Steele running around out here.
Wait a minute. All right, so we're saying Terence still got lighter, and you're still about to say the thing that they... Keep going. I'm going to allow you to get to that point before I lose it.
The Cowboys are sorting through who their primary left guard will be in 2023. A noticeably leaner Steele is, quote, an out-of-the-box option they have considered. But no such move has yet been made. Until he is told otherwise, Steele is focused on rehabbing toward a return to right tackle while others compete at left guard.
So they want to take a dude who has gotten lighter and put him inside?
Right now, as you look at, so the Cowboys are proceeding with what they consider their strongest available combination, which is Tyler Smith at left tackle, a Matt Farniok-led rotation at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, Zach Martin at right guard, and Tyron Smith at right tackle.
Which, I mean, Tyron Smith is a Hall of Fame caliber tackle, obviously at left tackle.
Where?
At left tackle.
Thank you.
But you give him an opportunity to have a full offseason of work at right tackle. And so the idea is maybe that a good amount of that translates to the right, and then you just got a very high-level right tackle. I understand why you've had these conversations about him and Terence Steele. Chuma Udoka got to look around like, oh, so y'all just don't like me at all. Like, y'all just signed him. Obviously, the idea could have been you sign him entirely as a depth proposition. They must really like what they've got out of Matt Farniok because, I mean, just constantly name keeps getting brought up. Face keeps brought up. Like, it feels like they really like that cat, or maybe they're just, I don't understand, especially from a coaching staff that dogged us the media, when we were talking about, well, what do you do? What if you move this around? What if, well, we don't want to play fantasy football. And here we are.
How about that?
Talking about Terence Steele.
How about that?
Who played incredible at the right tackle spot. We were very, and like the idea of tackle is that you have a little bit more athleticism and flexibility, and guard is where you can be bigger, badder, stronger, and then just kind of use that. And they're like, let's take a more lean guy and move him inside. I just do not understand. Do you have some level of understanding to impart to me, KG? Because I'm very confused.
First of all, no.
Okay.
Number two, I'm so bothered by this because let's try to take, the several layers of this and try to break this down as best we can. Number one, the idea is to put your best 5 offensive linemen on the field. And again, we're looking at best case scenario when these players are healthy. The best 5 that you can put out there right now at their best positions: Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, Zach Martin at right guard, Terence Steele at right tackle. Again, we're talking about at best case scenario when these players are healthy. And I know people will jump on this text line right now and say, well, Kevin, Tyron Smith hasn't been healthy and played a full season in the past 6-7 years.
Which is true.
Which is factually true.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we go back to this. Who are the best 5 that you want on the field right now? And if you tell me if the Cowboys love positional flex and value, you can, with Tyler Smith right now, have him play left guard while you have Tyron Smith as your left tackle. Will he get injured? History says yes, which means you should feel good that you can have Tyler Smith as your left guard, slide out to left tackle, and you not miss a beat.
Yeah.
And then Chuma Udoka could be there at left guard, or Farniok could be there.
On the text line, they're reminding us Big Ten offensive lineman.
Yeah, at left guard, and still keep the continuity of Biadasz, Martin, and Steele when he's healthy, because Terence Steele, to the point of one of the texters here, has said, look, Terence Steele is on pace to get a massive deal as a right tackle. Terence Steele, one of the best right tackles in the game, again, when healthy. So what I'm so confused by is the idea that you're going to play experimentation with this offensive line when you told me your best offensive line includes Tyron Smith in it, because let's look at the contract that Tyron Smith has going into his final year here. Okay? 1 year, $6 million, $17 million max.
Yeah.
That breaks down to this. $3 million bonus, base salary, $3 million guaranteed, which means my man has to play to get paid this year.
Yes.
He gets a $1 million bonus for hitting 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90% of the snaps this year. And then you get other incentives as you get into the playoffs and win playoff games, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it'd be real nasty work if he, you have those negotiations. He's like, all right, I'll do this for you. And then you don't give him the opportunity to go earn that money.
And then not have him do it at his best position, which is left tackle. That's the part where there's so many things that I'm confused by here. And the idea put forward that has been talked about by the Cowboys apparently is that Terence Steele could be an out-of-the-box option at left guard. That does not make any sense to me whatsoever.
And a fair argument is coming in on the text line right now from the 682. You're setting Dak up for failure. And they're taking this from a different perspective because they're like, so you can get rid of him, which I think is stupid, personally. Just my opinion. That's fine. But I think more importantly is that you're not giving yourself the best opportunity to succeed, which isn't that the objective here, right? Give yourself the best opportunity to succeed. I wonder how much of this is we are going through, like, we're going to consider every situation. And so, like, we're going through all of the least likely solutions just for them to come back to what is the most likely solution, which it seems like a no-brainer. It seems like the common sense solution of put the guy who has already played some left guard and seemed like he was capable of handling it and has the size and the power to play left guard, and let the guys who have played the tackle positions that they've played previously play those positions again, and then have everything go with the least amount of rejiggering and moving around.
Yes.
How much of this is just like it's that time of year where we're going to talk about all the permutations before we set it back to what is ultimately going to be the most logical, I guess, from my perspective, answer.
Well, and that's true that this will be a conversation that continues to go on, but I go back to this then. You decided not to address with significant capital the left guard spot because you decided in the first round to go with a defensive tackle in Mozzie Smith. No harm, no foul there. That's fine. When you decided not to do that, you put yourself in a position where you have to utilize the resources that you're there. And again, if we're talking about best five, you told me that Tyron Smith was a part of this, because if you wanted to start Tyler Smith at left tackle and him being the left tackle of the future for now and into the future, you would have moved on from Tyron Smith. Somebody jumped into my mentions and said, this is the Dallas media and others who don't want to see Tyron Smith be moved off from when it comes to starting the future of Tyler Smith at left tackle. No, that's the Cowboys who don't want to move off of Tyron Smith, because if they were true to the idea that Tyler Smith needs to get the positional reps now as your starting left tackle for now and in the future, you move on from Tyron Smith. But they didn't, and they gave him an incentive-based contract to where he has to play to get paid, which means they still feel he's part of the best lineup that they could put out there in their offensive line, which is why I'm thoroughly confused at the idea that they would try to consider anything else than having Tyler Smith play left guard based on your situation right now. That's the part where I don't understand that at.
I don't know. I'm consigning myself to the idea that this is just all the scuttlebutt. These are the wildest thoughts that they have in their mind, and that eventually we'll get to the place where they will make what I think we both believe is the right decision and settle this down with an easier permutation that puts Tyler Smith at left guard.
Who's the starting five then? If we start week one today, who's your starting five on the offensive line?
I mean, I believe it's the same one that you've laid out, which is Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, Zach Martin right guard, Terence Steele at right tackle. Obviously, assuming that Terence Steele is ready to go, which it seems like he probably will be.
Yeah. That's the way I would go. But the way I think this line is going to look when we get to week one, I think they will have Tyler Smith at left guard.
At left tackle?
Or left tackle, excuse me. Whomever at left guard.
Let's say Farniok.
We'll go with Farniok.
Mm-hmm.
Biadasz at center. Martin at
right guard.
Tyron Smith.
And then Terence Steele as your swing tackle.
Yeah, which I think is a massive mistake on my mind.
I can see that happening.
That's the way I think they're going to line up week 1. I don't think they should do that, but that's what I think they're going to line up with. I don't get it. But, again, you're right. We're going to be talking about this quite a bit throughout the course of the offseason, but obviously that's the reporting coming from Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News that Terence Steele has been considered an out-of-the-box option at left guard for the Dallas Cowboys.
It feels like they're making it harder than it needs to be.
Completely. That's all that boils down. They're making this much harder than what it needs to be. Shout out to the Cowboys for doing it.